So good afternoon, dear students. Just I revised the concepts that we have covered in last lecture. How to define classes in Python, okay, and how to create objects, how to define data members, how to define member function. So let us copy this code. I open one website of name w3school.com, okay. So here we can see all the keywords in color. So see, this is a simple program which consists of object of name, a class of name person, okay, and in this person there are two variable. First is name, second is amount, okay. Last name is person, first name is name, second is amount. So define init self n comma a colon, we are defining the function here. We define the function with the help of def keyword, define keyword. When the class get created, you already know C++ constructors concept. So when I create the class here of name person John 1000, I'm passing string and integer variable dynamically. So I assign that John to n, 1000 to amount, 1000 value to a, and here self dot name equal to n. Self means this refers to this object, this class person. So person dot name is n, person dot amount is a. So whenever I call p1 equal to person John 1000, this person object get created with the name p1 object get created of class person. Fine. So here once I create, I can print with the help of that object p1 dot name and p1 dot amount. You can see here name is p1 dot name, amount is p1 dot amount. See, if I run the code, name is John, amount is 1000. See, name is p1 dot name, it was John, name is John, amount is p1 dot amount. What was the amount? 1000. So here I can access data member with the help of objects. First thing I have cleared. Now there are three different functions. First function to print name, second function to print amount, and third function to print both name and amount. Okay, so in Python we define the function with the help of def keyword, define keyword, define space, function name space, in bracket you have to pass object. What is the class name? Person. This is the object here. I'm passing with the help of this self keyword. Okay, but when I call this function, my function, no need to pass any parameter. I have to understand this. Here when you call this p1 dot my function, okay, p1 dot my function, here there is null argument. So what is this self? Self refers to this p1 object. Try to understand this. p1 dot my function, it doesn't take any parameter. So hello, my name is self dot name. I got my name is John. Suppose I make the changes. Suppose I write here age. Suppose I write age, and here I write Control C, Control E. Hello, age is. Now this age is not the class member. Try to understand this. Age is the external parameter that I'm passing. So when I call this my function, it takes now two parameters. So I must pass, suppose age as 21. And here I'm again calling the age. Okay, even dot my function is called only one time. Fine, it will work. What should I get? Hello, my name is John, and hello, age is 21. Let us run the code. Can only convert string to integer. Okay. Okay. Now see here, name is John. Hello, my name is John. Here, hello, my name is John. Here, after calling function. See, this name is, amount is, you are getting the output here. Name is John, amount is 1000. Then after, now I'm changing amount to 9999. After calling my function, I call my function now, but my function takes one parameter as age. So I pass here 21. So what I get here? My function, it will jump here. Hello, my name is John. Hello, age is 21. Okay. And here again, I'm calling which function? P1.myAmount. You jump here, self.amount, and in this self.amount, I get here 9999. So better what I do, I write this one line here, Control V, and here in my amount function. And the code. What happened? Inconsistent use of tabs and spaces. Okay. Everything is correct. It should work. Okay, let it be. So again, I call p1.myAmount here. Okay, I got this. Next is show function. Show function. Now show function do not take any parameter. You can see here show function, it accepts null parameter. Self is the class name. So it accepts name is self.name, name is John, and amount is, here I have changed the amount to 9999. That's why here I got amount to 99. So this is just the revision. Here again you can pass one more. Suppose you can pass two more parameters. Suppose date of birth and place. So what I write here? I write here date of birth is, okay, DOB, fine. And here I write place is, okay, place. Now try to understand this date of birth and place are the variable that I have changed here. So when I call the show function, now I have to pass two parameters, DOB and place. Just I am doing the revision of your classes and objects in Python. That's why I'm just making some changes dynamically so that you can understand it in more better way. So when I call the show function, I should pass the value of DOB and place both are string. So here I must call, okay, date of birth, suppose today dated 12, okay, right, second to December, suppose 9080, and place of birth, suppose my place of birth is Latur. Okay, now what should be the output when I call this show function? Now show accept to parameter DOB and place. So value of DOB will be 2 December 1980. Value of place will be Latur. And when I run the code, I get the output. Try to understand these are not the class variable. Class variables are only name and amount. And these are the variables that are passing dynamically when we run the code. Are you getting me or not? So let us run the code. Very good. Date of birth is 2 December 1980. Place of birth is Latur. Understood? From this example now, I save this code so that I can email you the code. Control V, Control S, class basics details .py file. Okay. I hope this concept are clear now. This is our basis of Python classes. Now our next code was bank. Okay. So let us copy this. Let me copy this code. And okay, any doubts to anyone? If you have any doubts, then you can put the message in the chat window. I will reply your doubts. Right? So now what is this code? This is the code for simple banking enterprise. Okay, which deposit the money in the bank and which withdraw the money from the bank. Okay. Remember one thing in Python, whenever we define the function in class and object, the common is self always, because we are passing the object. Without object, okay, we cannot define the function in classes. We must use self keyword. So here, this is the constructor. It takes two parameter, name, amount. So when I create the object here, person P1 equal to person John 1000, value of n becomes 1000, value of a becomes one, value of n becomes John, value of a becomes 1000, and here self dot name and self dot amount will be, name will be John, amount will be 1000. Fine. Then there are 1 2 3 4, there are 4 functions. Okay, define my function self. Hello, my name is, this is simple function to print name. This is simple function to print age, to print amount. Next is, this is a function which will add some number in the some value in existing amount. So self dot amount equal to self dot amount plus d, and this is a function to withdraw the amount from that, to withdraw w from the amount. So self dot amount equal to self dot amount minus w. So already I have covered basics of these in my this code. Okay, how to define function. Okay, this is the code. How to define the function, how to define members, data members, how to define member function, what are the parameters, all the prerequisite that is useful for this program is already covered in this previous lecture, previous program. So let us now go and create object P1 equal to person John 1000. So value of n, value of name and amount are John and 1000. Fine. Next, P1 dot my function. P1 dot my function. Hello, my name is. So what you get here? Hello, name is John. Okay, I need to run the code. I not yet executed the code. Hello, my name is John. Hello, my name is cell.name John. What is John? John is this John that was assigned to this variable n. This variable is assigned to this cell.name, and I refer this cell.name here. Try to understand this link. Next is p1.myAmount. It called myAmount print cell.amount. What is cell.amount? When I create the object of name person, I pass 1000. This 1000 assigned to variable A. This variable is assigned to amount variable cell.amount. Now we refer this cell.amount here. So here I get 1000. Clear? Now next is deposit 100 rupees. P1 dot deposit 100. Now my amount was 1000. So when I deposit the amount, what will happen? Yes, can you tell me what will happen? It should add 100 in 1000. It should be 1100. See, after depositing 100, it should be 1100. When I withdraw 50 rupees, 110 minus 50, I get 1050. Okay, this is very simple code. Simple code. This code consists of a bank. You have account in the bank, and with your account, you have the name and you have the amount. When you deposit some amount in the bank, that amount get added. So I pass that amount in the variable D. And when I withdraw the amount from the bank, I pass that amount in variable W. So when I deposit the amount, deposit initial letter D is taken, cell.amount equal to cell.amount plus D. When I withdraw the amount, initial letter is W, cell.amount equals cell.amount minus W. Okay, and this is the sim function to print the amount. That's it. Okay, so let me add one more line here. I hope you are enjoying the music also. Amount is or amount equal to, run the code. Okay, fine. You can see here. I think it should work here. Cell.amount. Let me check. I'm doubtful whether it works or not. Okay, it doesn't work. I need to cascade that. Okay, run the code. So when I call this deposit, here it goes here 1000 plus 100, it becomes 1100, and P1 dot amount, I get amount is 1100. Next is withdraw 50. I got here output withdraw 50, print withdraw 50, withdraw 50 rupees. Now my amount was 1100 minus 50, I get 1050. Let us make some changes. Instead of depositing 100, I deposit 10 rupees. I deposit 10 rupees and I withdraw, suppose 110. Run the code. Oh, mistake is there. Now see here, initial amount of 1000, deposit 10, 1000 plus 10, 1010, withdraw 110. Now here 1010 minus 110, you get 900. Okay, so this is the code. for ranking examples. Now let us go in detail now. Another code. Inheritance. Okay, I open one simple website, Python W3 School inheritance. Now see, this is a simple example. Okay, it's a class person. It takes two parameters, first name, last name. Cell dot first name equal to f name. Cell dot last name equal to l name. Okay, f name, l name, and print self name, l name. It prints the first name, last name, and here person John Doe. Write ourselves. Now you can see here, or you can take here Ram Sharma. Doe, Sharma Doe. Now here we will use this person as a parameter when we define another class. Let us see this. Now we have to create a child class. To create a class that inherit the functionality from another class, send the parent class as parameter when creating the child class. Okay, now I create a class of name student, but when I create the class of name student, I am passing the parent class. Try to understand the difference now. See this. See, when I define the class, I am not passing any parameter here. Class person colon. Try to understand the difference. But when I use the inheritance concept, I must use parent class as the parameter while defining the child class. Class person colon class student person. What is person? Person is the class name. This is the class name person. That acts as a child class. That acts as a parent class to the student class. Okay. So let us see the example now. Now see here. This is the class person, class student person. Now here this is the child class. It is inheriting all data member function of parent class. You can see here x equal to student Mike Olson. X, what is x? X is the object of class of name student. But student is derived from class person, and class person consists of first name and last name. That's why here I am passing first name and last name. But this pass is, we are not defined a function. So by default it will call base class constructor. So f name becomes Mike, l name becomes Olsen. When you run the code, you get Mike Olsen. Okay. Now here, we are calling in the child class the parent class. See this. Already I covered in last lecture. Today lecture it is somewhat difficult to understand. That's why again I am revising the concept, because it's a little bit difficult to understand if you are not doing the practice. Okay. So what is this base class of name person? First name, last name. Print first name, last name. And here what happened? Here you are calling in the constructor of the derived class base class constructor. So person dot init self f name l name. So here first name becomes f name, last name will be l name, and here x equal to student Mike Olsen, x dot print name. What is print name? Print name is the member function of person object. जेवढे काही क्लास बेस क्लास मध्ये जेवढे काही डेटा मेंबर फंक्शन असतात, सगळे डेटा मेंबर फंक्शन डिराइव्ह क्लास मध्ये प्रिंट होतात. कसं पाहायचं का? लेट अस सी दिस. प्रिंट first name is, okay, here I use x dot first first name, and here last name is last name. That's it. Run the code. Now what I am showing to you, I am accessing the first name and last name of the base class with the help of object of derived class. The student is the derived class from person object class, and this x is the object of student class. And here I'm printing first name, last name, okay, a base class with the help of object of derived class. As well as I'm calling base class data member function print name with the help of object of derived class. Are you getting me or not? Here you can define your own method also. स्वतःचे मेथड पण तुम्ही डिफाइन करू शकता इथे. Mike, listen. Suppose you want to add, suppose city, location. So here what you write? Self dot location equal to, instead of location I type LOC. It will be confusing otherwise. LOC, and here I can print location is x dot location. Now what I have defined? I have called, and here when I call object of derived class, here I have to pass 3 parameters now. Here there are only 2 parameters. I pass the location of third parameter as our Latur city. We are from Latur. We must mention our name in the video. Now run the code. First name is Mike, last name is Olsen, and here location is x dot location. I hope this concept is clear now. Or here you can define one function, okay, define print location. CATION. Okay, and here I print here location is self dot so here what I'm doing now, I am defining one member function in derived class. Okay, now I will call this member function x dot print location. That's it. What I'm doing now, inside function काय करताय मी आता लक्षात आलं तुमच्या? I am printing the location with the help of one member function of name print location. This is defined in derived class. Okay, let us run the code. I hope this will work. Very good. Inside function location is Latur. So here what I have discussed you, I have defined a new variable in derived class. I have assigned that variable to class data member of name location. I have printed that location with the help of object directly, and I have defined one function of name print location, which print member function in derived class, that is location, in the function self.location. And here I am calling that with the help of x.print location function. That's it. I hope this code is clear now. Okay, so let us copy this code so that I can email you the code. Control V, Control S, inheritance detail step 1.py. Okay, now let me cover my last program. It will take another 5 minutes, then we can stop our lecture. Already we have created the program in advance so that we can save our time. Okay, this is a very nice example. Now see here, this is a, what is this program? I tell you with the help of Notepad, it will be easy for me. So here I have base class of name shape. Okay, and in that shape I have a variable of name. Okay, from that shape I derive which class? Rectangle. Okay, and it takes name, length, breadth. Okay, it takes name, length, and breadth, these parameters. Okay, so I have to calculate area of a rectangle. So you can see here, self, name, length, breadth, and here as I am deriving this rectangle class from shape class, shape acts as a parameter here. See here, shape, here name, length, breadth, fine. And as this class name is shape, this we derive the rectangle class from shape class. So here I pass shape as parameter to the rectangle class, first step. Here data members of shape are name, so this is name, okay, which is a string. And here area, I have not defined any area is a member function. And here get name, print the name. Next is rectangle derived from shape, but rectangle takes 3 parameter: name, length, breadth, name, length, breadth. And here I am calling base class constructor. Base class constructor with the help of super method. I can use super method also. We have 2 options to call base class constructor. Already we have seen. The first method is object name, base class name dot init. The second is super method. Okay, in both way it will work, no doubt. So instead of using that shape dot, I have used super. Super means it will call this shapes, this method. So here name is assigned with the help of cell.name. What about length and breadth? Here cell.length equal to length, cell.breadth equal to breadth. Okay. Now here, this is the what is formula for area of rectangle? Length into breadth. This is the area of rectangle formula. So return self dot length into self dot breadth. Okay. Now next is square. Again, we have derived square from rectangle. Right? Understand this. We have derived square from rectangle. So this is the square. SQUARE. What it takes? It takes name and side. What is the formula of square? Square. What is the formula of square? Area of a square is side square. That is the formula of square. That's why it has taken only one parameter of name side. Okay, name side, and formula is initialize the base class. What is the base class? Super dot init means it will call now rectangles init method. Try to understand this. When I write super dot init, it refers to rectangle class. Rectangle class will call this init method, and it will assign length and breadth to length and breadth object. It will call base class this method cell.name. So in this way, we get values of length and breadth. Both are same in square, because see here, side comma side. What is side comma side? Side comma side means length is side. What is value of length? It is side. What is value of breadth? Value of breadth is value of side, because area of square is side square. So here what I get when I call this area cell dot length into cell dot breadth. That's it. And next, and what is area of a square then? Area of square equal to cell dot length into cell dot breadth. That is nothing but cell dot side into cell dot side. And next is class circle derived from shape. So this is the class circle. Okay, it takes name and radius. That's it. What is formula of area of circle? Pi r square. So this is the example to print area of rectangle, area of square, area of circle using inheritance in Python. The objective of this code is calculate area of rectangle, area of square, area of circle with the help of inheritance. If you observe this, we are defining area as common member function, and every time we are overriding area. Right? Understand this. In all this code, we have a function of name area, common function to all classes is, this is the common function. When we refer rectangle, area equal to self into length into self into breadth. Okay, or this is for rectangle. Okay, what about square? It is same, but here it is nothing but side into side. That's it. And here cell dot length, cell dot breadth, these are the values of side. SIDE. Why side? Because here we are saying side into side. Okay, this is side into side, side assigned to length, side assigned to breadth. And what about your, this is for square. What about your for, this is for area of circle. It takes radius. That's it. And here I get 3.14 pi into r. R means radius. Now see here for circle, area equal to, okay, pi r square, na? It's correct. Self radius into 2, power 2. Both are same, no problem. Okay. So I hope this concept is clear now. Now let us create the object S1 equal to shape. This S1 is the object of name shape S1. Next is area of rectangle. I create the object of name R1 rectangle. So what is the object of rectangle? It is R1. Okay. I call R1 rectangle equal to RR 12, 10. What happened then? When I call rectangle 12, 10, it jump to rectangle. So here I am calling this function. So here name is RR, length is 12, breadth is 10. Okay, then here self length equal to 12, self breadth equal to 10. Right, understand? Self dot length equal to this 12, self dot breadth equal to this 10. Fine. And what about this RR? It calls the basic superclass constructor name. So it call this method self dot name equal to name. Name becomes RR. Okay, what is the next step? AR1 equal to R1 dot area. What is area? Where do I define area? Area equal to return self dot length to self dot breadth. So here what I get? 12 into 10 equal to 120. If I run the code, now see here you get this output. Area of rectangle equal to 120. Now when I call area of square, see initially when I run the code area of rectangle, I get area of rectangle. Here I get R1 equal to rectangle and R1 equal to AR1 equal to R1 dot area. What is area? Area is a member function of class rectangle. So it jumps here, cell dot length to cell dot breadth, and 12 into 10 is 120. Next is area of square. You get this area of square output. Yes, 15. Now what is this 15? 15. Let us jump to the square object. Name comma side. So here it called the superclass. What is superclass? Its superclass is rectangle. Superclass is rectangle. It will jump here. Now it's cell dot length equal to side, cell dot breadth equal to side. Now both sides are 15, 15. And here I have not defined the area. Try to understand this. I have not defined area function here. So by default, I am calling this function base class area function. So here I get 15 to 50, 20 to 25. I will define one more function which will show you the area. I will tell you in next 2 minutes. And next is class circle. Okay. Area of circle. This is area of circle. SS2 circle. It jump to circle object. It call superclass of name shape or name. It jump to shape object directly here. It assign name to name. And next is what about 2? 2 is assigned to radius. Cell dot radius equal to radius. Okay. When I call C1 dot area, I call this object C1 dot area, no parameters, 3.14 into radius into 2. That's it. I get area. So the entire code you can see here in this notepad. This is the entire code. Any doubts to anyone? Now what I do now in next 2 minutes, I define one area function for circle, for square. Control C. Okay. Area okay, I call it as area square. Okay, area square, and here instead of writing the length and breadth, I write here cell dot side into cell dot side. That's it. It's all common sense logic. What is side? What is side? Side. Okay. Here self dot side equal to side. I take this side as side 1, better understanding, more better way. Okay, I have defined a new function of new area. No need to define, it will override, no problem. Now see here, int inside understood what happened? In the previous case, I am using base class area function which was calculating the area of a square. Now here I define my own data member of name side. Here I am not calling the basic base constructor, and here inside square function, return cell dot side to cell dot side. Okay, let us copy the code, paste the code, and here I will email you all the code, don't worry. हे सगळे कोड तुम्हाला मेल करणार आहे. Any doubts to anyone? Okay, doubts असेल मला विचारा. Otherwise we stop our lecture. In next 2 minutes let me take the attendance. Attendance घेतो मी पहिले तुमची. Any doubts to anyone? Okay, better should I continue the lecture, because yesterday we could not conduct the lecture because of internet problem in my lab. बघितलं का? 10 minutes. Okay, I pause the lecture for 5 minutes. I will continue the lecture because only 50 minutes are left. So better I continue the lecture. Any doubts to anyone? Then you can ask me. I have today in today's lecture, I have again revised all your classes and objects in Python. How to use inheritance, how to create base class, how to create derived class, and how to override data members, how to override member function in base class, derived class, how to use the constructor. All these things are covered in detail, and I'm also recording, I think, this lecture. Yes, I'm recording the lecture. So this lecture will be available to you on YouTube. I will upload this lecture on YouTube also. You can refer this lecture afterwards also if you have any doubts, and I will email you all this code also. Don't worry about these codes. Okay, doubts, sir Kunala? I pause here for 2 minutes. Let me know if any doubts. And here I have copied all the code from this website. This is the website. ही वेबसाइट आहे ती. इथे मी कोड कॉपी केलेले आहेत. Okay, this is night website kdnuggets.com. From this website, okay, I have copied this bank and withdraw code. We have written the code on your own. Okay, but this inheritance code have been copied from this website. Okay, already I have emailed you the same website along with the code. I pause the lecture for 5 minutes. Any doubts to anyone, you can put it in the message box. In between that time, I email you the code. Okay, मी तुम्हाला कोड मेल करतो जो तुम्हाला मी आता हे केलेला आहे. I email you that code so that you immediately can execute the code. Python base class object in okay, I emailed you all the code. In next 15 minutes, everyone open the email. प्रत्येकाने ईमेल ओपन करा. जे कोड मी तुम्हाला आता ईमेल केलेले आहेत ते सगळे कोड एक एक करून रन करा, चेंजेस करा, रन करा. This is the only way, okay, we can learn to start the execution. On next 20 minutes, we'll do the practical now. In between that time, if you have any doubts, then let me know. I clear your doubts. Should I expect cooperation from you now? Should I expect that you will execute the code? Let me know your reply by chat window, chat message. Should I expect you will execute the code? Reply in the chat window immediately. I think my voice is not audible, only it is audible to Anil. No other students is okay, good. Okay, I request everyone, please go through this code. These are very important subject. Try to understand the importance of this subject. Python is the hot cake in the market. For that, you must be good in Python basics also. We have not covered much more basics. We have covered much more details of Django, but we are again concentrating on some basics. Data structure is very, very important subject. In next lecture, I will tell you how to create stack, queues, linked list, and trees in Python. In next lecture, what I will cover, how to create class, how to create stack data structure, queue data structure, linked list and trees data structure using Python. So it is useful to you. You can mention in your biodata that you know Python and you are referred this data structure book, data structure concepts in Python also. It is useful for you in the interviews also. Okay, Python Django, already we have lectures series on Python Django. We have uploaded 2 videos on Django. One video is how to install Django and how to create the models, how to register the model, okay, how to create the project, how to create the app. And in second lecture we have used model view template architecture, where we have explained how to display the data from the backend into the front end using Bootstrap. Okay, so this is our another lecture which will be helpful to you. So please go through the lecture. Did you receive my mail? Let me know your reply. Did you receive my mail? Yes or no? मेल मिळाला असेल तर yes we have got the email म्हणून रिप्लाय पाठवा. My voice is not audible. You are not replying my question. Did you receive the email? Okay, I pause the lecture for 5 minutes. Music would be continued. Okay, very good. Yes, received. Music would be continued so that your mood will be maintained. You will be motivated to do the programs. Okay, we'll continue the lecture for next 15 minutes. You are expected to run the code, execute the code. You are really fortunate that we have good website with online editors, and you can see the keywords in color. Here you can see all data members in red color. These are data members, you can see in red color, and member functions also are shown in the color. Here area is the member function. Or here I can define another function of name instead of area. I show you, I change one more thing. I can define another function like this. Function area. Okay, and here I call this function area. Now what I have done now, I define a function of name function area. That's it. बाकी काय केलेलं मी? काय केलेलं simple. So function area is the object of square. So here AS2 equal to S1 dot लक्षात आलं मी काय केलेलं आहे? Here I have defined another function of name function area. Okay, and here simply I am calling this self side equal to, and here inside function area. What should I get now? Output. I will get area 2 times for square. Now see here. inside square function 225. Okay, here I have called this S1 area, AS1 area, print AS1. See here area of square, here it is area of square, right? S1 equal to square SS15, and print AS1, you get inside square function. What is area? This is inside square function that you have got here. Now next is what we call AS2 equal to S1 function area. Now it call this function area member function. It calls inside function area function. Return self dot side, and print, or you can directly print here also. If you want to print here also, you can print in another way. Okay, let me show it to you. Okay, what I do, I define one more function of name. Suppose where I will print the program, where I will print area. You can write the program in multiple ways. If your basics are clear, inside print area function, and here I am printing that area. That's it. What is this print area? This is again another function, but it does not return anything. It prints in the function itself. So only I have to call that print area. That's it. Nothing else. Square. S1 dot print area. That's it. Now what is this S1 dot print area? It jumps to this function print area. Inside print area, I get self dot side into self dot side, and here I assign the self dot side here. Run the code. Now see here. Inside print area function, area equal to, okay, self dot side, I get 225. But here if you observe, what is the difference between this function area, this print area? Here I am returning the value, here I am not returning any value. As I am returning the value, that's why here I have created a variable of name AS2 equal to, and print AS2. These are basics of fundamentals of functions in C++. And this print area do not return any value. That's why here directly I have called a function. That's it. Okay, I copy this code. Don't worry, I will email you this code also. I'm taking your care a lot, because I know it's difficult for you to understand everything. Function, go to type in detail .py. That's it. Any doubts to anyone now? ठीक आहे बाबा, मी असं अज्युम करतो की तुम्हाला मी जे काही शिकवलेलं आहे ते समजलं आहे. तरी जर समजलं नाही तर आपला जो ग्रुप आहे त्या ग्रुपमध्ये मला हे करा, मेसेज टाकून द्या. जर मी रिप्लाय जर ग्रुपमध्ये दिली नसेल तर माझ्या पर्सनल विंडो टाका, सर मला हा प्रोग्राम समजत नाहीये, त्याचा प्रोग्रामची एक सॉफ्ट कॉपी मला मेल करा, व्हॉट्सअप करा, त्याचा स्नॅपशॉट मला फोटो पाठवा. ठीक आहे. आय होप टुडे लेक्चर इज युजफुल टू यू, and this concept is useful now in Django also, because in next week I will again switch to Django where we need to use classes and objects. त्यामुळे हे कन्सेप्ट खूप महत्वाचे आहेत आणि these are very important concepts regarding your campus placement also. ठीक आहे, आपण थांबूया इथं. थँक्यू व्हेरी मच. हॅव अ गुड डे.